So if you're not familiar with what Lindsey Jones can do to help your students prepare for their exams, for their NBRC exams, there's really 3 different ways that we can approach that. One thing that we do is we do on-site seminars where the school is the host and they invite us to come. The seminar can be open to the public, or if the group is big enough, they can even just keep it close to their students. But what's different about our seminars is that we strongly believe that it's not enough to just have somebody stand up and read a manual to somebody, telling them what to highlight and telling them what's on the test and what's not. What we have done that's different is that we have found a way over the years to capitalize on all that the instructor has already taught them. So a lot of times students at that age, they have a lot of disparate information in their mind. They're ready for the exam in many ways because they have all the information, but they just need ways to pull it together and apply certain critical thinking techniques that they might not have been exposed to before. So not only do we bring the thoughts about specific aspects of the exam, but we really take all that they've already learned and just kind of make the light go on a little bit more and teach them about critical thinking. And so we do that. These seminars are very, very interactive. Again, it's not somebody just lecturing while somebody takes notes. We often tell them, don't take notes. The other difference is that we tell them not to take notes because we're going to provide them afterwards 6 months access to all the lectures, all the slideshows, a bunch of quiz questions that are narrated, over 8 full-length TMC exams with rationale, as well as 30 plus clinical simulations that they can practice in an unlimited way. And that's the second difference with us. At Lindsey Jones, we think it's just not a good idea to make students keep buying tokens. We think if you do that ultimately students will just close their pocketbook, and they might do so before they're really ready for the exam. So we want them to feel in that time period that they have unlimited possibilities to take an exam over and over again, to listen to a lecture over and over. And so it's unlimited use for that period of time. And so when they come to a seminar, we leave having given them that kind of access to Lindsey Jones and the lectures they just listened. We really think that students learn in layers, and that even if we stand there for 3 days, they're not going to get all of that. Sometimes they're tuning out like we all do, and they need to listen to that again and again and again. It also, by the way, comes with an app that they can download on their phone and listen to all the lectures over and over again. And so they can listen to the seminar 3 or 4 times. That's why we think that we have the highest published pass rate, is because we help students learn in layers. And we don't penny them to death by getting them to pay more and more and more as they go along. Now, if they procrastinate, don't study it, and a year later they want to do it, then they might have to renew and pay a little bit just to get started again. But even that, we try to keep it at a low cost, and we operate as a nonprofit in this way. So we try to help them out the best we can. So another thing that we do, of course, is that we can do webinars, and that turns out to be very interactive as well. We like to see their faces. We treat it just like a seminar. And we are very interactive. We let them make decisions while the central mediator is controlling a simulation or a TMC exam question. So we do a lot of talking in that way. And those work out pretty well. What's interesting about those is that we can spread them out over about 10 to 11 lessons. And so it can be an hour and a half to 2 hour lessons. They can all be crammed in 3 days, or they can be stretched out over 2 days a week for the next 3 weeks. You can do a number of things to do that. So we just work with you to do that afterwards. And of course, they walk away with the same 6-month access to all of the lectures. And my own personal opinion is they probably learn more from that than they do just the one time listening to a lecture. So they can learn a lot from that just by repeating and continuing to study. And then, of course, the other thing we do is we do have what's called the hybrid home study. And this is just a way for the student to access the home study with all the same access to all the lectures that they can listen to, not just once, but unlimited. And they can do a TMC exam not just once, but unlimited in that period of time. And so not only can they get the home study kit, but it's called a hybrid because we have the ability to give the school a free portal so they can peer into what the students are doing. Even after graduation, they can look at how the student's doing, and they can offer remediation and stay connected with the student, which we all know is a desire and a specific request of COARC to demonstrate how we're taking care of the student after graduation, how we're helping them pass the test, how we're helping them get a job. So it's a good way to stay in contact with the student. So there's certainly a lot more details than that, and if you want to know more, we can always arrange a Zoom call or some kind of a tour with you on the phone with your instructors, or video conferencing, and just answer all the detailed questions you have and kind of show you what that's like. But it's a great opportunity, I think, right now with the way the world is, to consider the different hybrids of learning. So some video, some self-paced, some distance learning, but at the same time, we can also come to your school if it's open, and we can spend some time with your students. So I hope you'll take a look at the way Lindsey Jones University helps you prepare your students for the NBRC exams.